has received a GenExpert 16-module multiplexing machine for regional referral hospitals to improve access to care and quality diagnosis. The machine can diagnose 35 diseases at a go, including COVID-19, TB, and HIV. Take a look.
Stores, Dr. Bildad Baguma notes that as part of the national response to COVID-19, joint medical stores have donated oxygen regulator machines.
A specialized type, unlike the normal ones which are connected to one ventilator. These regulators can connect to 3 ventilators and therefore be able to support a bigger number of people. In addition, Madam PS, we are also donating 8,000 N95 masks that we hope would also support the response.
Meanwhile, many people have turned up at the Ministry of Health to receive a COVID-19 jab as the second wave hits the country. Zahara Abigaba, UBC.
Uganda has held a National Candle Light Memorial Day to honor the victims of HIV/AIDS as part of the campaign to end AIDS by 2030 in Uganda. Now reversing the HIV/AIDS stigma and discrimination at the workplaces topped the agenda. Take a look.
Mukenenya tataliza akwata buli omu, omwana, omukadde, omukazi, omusajja.
Most times when I tell people I'm living with HIV, the people that I interact with, many say it's a joke. Why, you're kidding, you can't be, like, you're so beautiful, you're so intelligent.
Oh, we do apologize for that. We'll be bringing you the English version of that particular story. All right, now moving on. The NRM party top decision-making body, the Central Executive Committee, SEC, will convene this Friday, the 28th of May, 2021, now to review the minutes of the previous session where the endorsement of candidates for the speakership race in the 11th Parliament was made. Now, while addressing the media at the party secretariat in Kampala, the NRM Secretary General Justin Kazule Lumumba, however, noted that the party will choose reconciliation as the only option to steer forward the party and the country.
On Sunday, 23rd May 2021, the NRM Central Executive Committee, alongside the Party Parliamentary Caucus, convened at State House Entebbe to rubber stamp the final candidates for the 11th Parliamentary Speakership race ahead of the Monday election. Since then, the party has seemed to be at crossroads as some candidates defied its decision by contesting as independents, although they finally lost out.
There have been many attempts to eject me from the party leadership. You recall during the SEC elections last year, there was tremendous state interference, intimidation.
At a press conference held at the party secretariat this afternoon, the party secretary general Justin Kazule Lumumba noted that the confrontations from either sides are now uncalled for since the process.
The members to desist from making comments in the media that may be prejudicial to the unity and cohesion in the party and the country. I call on the NRM members to desist from confronting each other on the basis of the dynamics of the election, especially of the Speaker.
However, the party reminds all those delegated to lead Parliament as Speaker and Deputy that they should always be mindful that this is a party assignment.
That they should never forget that positions to which they are now holding were deployments by the party to the different organ, the Parliament of Uganda. And they should hold these positions in trusteeship and on behalf of the party.
as to whether the party will consider punishing the Right Honourable Rebecca Litwala Kadaga for parting ways with the party decision. Lumumba noted that though the party constitution calls for such, the party will choose reconciliation as the first option.
There are punishments for that. Should they find you guilty, they can caution you, they can propose to caution you, or to suspend you, or to expel you from the party. So that is not within my powers, but whatever actions are to be taken are within the constitution of the party, the code of conduct. But as you are aware, politics, you must talk, you must listen to others, you must persuade.
On several occasions, the former speaker has accused the party for blinding her off on grounds that she has always stood for the truth. However, Lumumba treats the claims as baseless.
The same Central Executive Committee, whether membership changed or not, are the very people that used to endorse her as unopposed. So, when she says that, I think there will be a session where that explanation will be sought from her. Why now, why not before, when the NRM party thrice, once as deputy speaker and twice as speaker, endorsed you as unopposed.
As the Central Executive Committee of the party is set to convene this Friday, 28th May 2021, top on the order paper will be the review of the minutes of the previous session, formulation of the Appointments Committee in Parliament, whose task ahead will be the vetting of new cabinet appointees. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
Now NRM party members under the umbrella body, the NRM Independent Movement from the 5 divisions of Kampala, who stood independently and lost in the elections, have appealed to President Yoweri Museveni to choose capable cabinet leaders who can deliver services to Ugandans. Now, this call was made at a congratulatory ceremony of President Yoweri Museveni and the newly appointed Speaker of the 11th Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, in Kampala.
Like the biblical story about a prodigal son, it all started with the jubilation and dancing of frustrated NRM party members who had abandoned the party after the February 2021 elections, in which they lost and opted to start their own NRM independent movement. However, in a twist of events, the need to think twice about the path they had taken was crucial, deciding to return to their mother party, the NRM. This was at Akamwesi Gardens in Sheba and the Kampala suburb. The congratulatory
President Yoweri Kaguta Tibohaura Museveni.
Their return is a replica of a begotten son in the scriptures, who couldn't stand the hard ways of survival differences and forge a way forward.
Timwazemu ne mumuteekamu obwesigwa ne mumulonda era tubasaba mukolere ddala nga bwe mutyo. Ffenno tuli ba NRM Independent Movements abeesimbawo bwa Namunigina. Naye tetuvanga mu kibiina, tuli bannakibiina kya NRM era President Museveni tumwebaza nti wabaawo ensonga zonna n'abali abo nti bali NRM leaning abayita ne babayira nti batuula bonna ne banna NRM.
Tolwaleero bw'aba yalayidde atunulire okusoomooza okwamweyolekera mu kulonda okwaliwo nti waliwo kye bayita political question eyajja mu Buganda ne Busoga paati emu agitunuulire abantu bano message gye bali bamusindikira.
Mbeze banna abawansi kyenayagadde omusaba takomaawo ajja tusinkane naddala okuviira ddala kumiruka.
Tulakuba nti performance yali nnungi olw'emivuyo egyali mu kamyufu n'egyali mu kalulu kaffe ng'ate bannaffe bennyini be batulwanyisa.
They lamented how it's far better to forget about the lost elections and design agendas of working together to uplift the roots of the party, as their vice chairperson Innocent Muhanguzi states.
5 years shall be the years of hard work. We know there shall be years of democracy, the years of NRM ideology being realized. So we come here this evening first to request our president that as we move on, he needs to come to us. As independent movement, we are not against the party. We are not against the state.
However, Perus Munaba, who stood independently for a mayoral post of Makindye East Division, asked the president to consider capable leaders who can effectively extend service delivery to Ugandans.
So I want to request the president, as he's going to elect his new cabinet, to get us leaders who will be for the people, not leaders who will be on their own, but leaders who can serve the nation as it is supposed to be. We also request those leaders who will be given the opportunity to be people for the people, other than sitting or thinking that they are more or greater than the people. But
he also praised the outgoing Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, for her great endeavors for the party and the country in general, wishing the newly appointed Jacob Olanya best of luck. Ivan Juko, UBC News.
Public agencies are discussing to find suitable solutions for curbing economic and financial crimes. Economic crimes refer to illegal acts committed by an individual or group to obtain a financial or professional advantage. Take a look.
And fostered multi-agency collaboration in tackling the vice. The keynote speaker, General J.J. Odong, underscored the need for using innovative approaches like information technologies to bring the perpetrators to justice.
The use of ICT. This arises out of the fact that quite a significant number of our transactions now go through the electronic system. And people tend to take advantage to play around with those facilities in order to avoid their obligations.
On the theme, shaping today's intelligence to tackle tomorrow's threat, URA, the convener of the meeting, is expecting improved revenue collection and rapid economic growth when all the gaps which lead to revenue leakage are closed.
We are only able to collect about half of the budget needed to run our nation. We are recommitting ourselves in the next 3 to 4 years to collect enough money that can balance our budget and take care of our national needs and lead our country to economic independence. So this is a journey we cannot walk alone, or it's not a journey where we can do business as usual.
According to the stakeholders, the digital transformation has had positive impact on the economy. However, smart criminals are also exploiting loopholes in ICT platforms to commit economic crimes.
Collaboration is of very significant importance. URSB, for example, registers different companies. If that information is not available to URA, such companies can go scot-free without meeting their tax obligations.
Of course, the perpetrators of the economic crime, we will meet them in the field, we will have planned better, and we will get them. But it's important that you share the message with them that government is coordinating and planning to get rid of these economic crimes, and therefore they should take heed and stop before we catch them. We don't have to bring them here in this meeting.
Economic crime covers a wide range of offences, from financial crimes committed by banks, tax evasion, illicit capital havens, money laundering, and crimes committed by public officials. Dennis Igoa.
UBC News Tonight takes a short break, but will return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
In chess, the small one can become the big one. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now, you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest. You also get MTN Central Points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear masks, ties, or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
In efforts to improve quality assurance and Uganda's competitiveness as a tourist destination, Uganda Tourism Board is set to undertake a nationwide grading and classification exercise of hotel and accommodation facilities. As a member of the East African community, Uganda subscribes to the East African Grading and Classification criteria, a system denoted by stars ranging from 1 to 5. The grading and classification exercise will be crowned by the awarding of star ratings to facilities found compliant to the EATS. This is therefore a call to all accommodation and facility owners and managers to register and get licensed by UTB as a requirement and get ready for participation. For more information, visit www.utb.go.ug or email qualityassurance@utb.go.ug for details. Uganda Tourism Board, promoting tourism together.
Experience 100% 4G speeds across Uganda with the Airtel 4G Pocket Wi-Fi available at 123,000 shillings only. It comes with 15 GB free for 1 month. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, device selling shop or Airtel online shop. www.airtel.co.ug/broadband-discover. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still watching UBC as we continue to inspire Uganda. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazumoto and Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. Now into our business news this evening. Private sector players want government to formulate and implement a national startup policy in order to address obstacles to the growth of entrepreneurship and innovation in the country. An effective policy will enable startups to walk the business journey. Take a look.
It has emerged that startups collapse due to market gaps, stiff competition, failure to raise capital, and absence of incentives such as tax breaks that support startup growth.
So we are saying that at least there should be a thinking, a policy of action for the smaller and young businesses that start up, so that people who invest less than 50,000 will also find something that can help them. Is it going to be a tax?
Concern of startups' resilience was raised at the National Startup Policy Dialogue organized by the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, the Innovation Village, and MasterCard Foundation.
For example, the 12% tax, and we find that it is inhibiting growth, and yet we understand the need to raise the tax base, but such a tax then goes on ahead to kill the businesses early.
Many startups are being killed by competition from products coming out from imports from China. Some of those products are being dumped into the country, or they are subsidized within their country. So we are working on the trade remedies.
The Global Entrepreneurship Monitor ranked Uganda the most entrepreneurial in the world. Makerere University Business School principal Waiswa Balunywa says Current policies are ideal, but some fall short of supporting the emergence of Ugandan businesses.
The quality of entrepreneurial ideas is very poor. The ones you are seeing succeed are mainly in applications. But you need, as a country, is it possible for us to make a breakthrough into ideas that help us to improve our agriculture? Is it possible to make a breakthrough into how we handle and health?
Startups in Uganda are growing fast, and most have been motivated to be resilient due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 7 types of capital that support startups, including intellectual, human talent, networks to market.
A researcher with Makerere University, Dr. John Mutenyo, says absence of relevant information about tourist sites has slowed domestic tourism demand. Now, this follows a recent study by Makerere University Research and Innovation Fund on the determinants of local and international demand for tourism in Uganda.
A 2020 research by Makerere University Research and Innovation Fund on determinants of local and international demand for tourism in Uganda shows that information gaps hinder Ugandans to embrace tourism. With a population of over 40 million Ugandans, only 4.3 million are active in domestic tourism, representing 10.7%. This was at a meeting convened to discuss the research findings at Makerere University.
Is infrastructure. The roads, the tour sites were actually mentioned as one of the major problems people face. They take so long to reach a particular tour site.
99% of the interviewed local tourists told us that the costs are high. In most of these tour sites, they are forced to pay in dollars, yet they are Ugandans.
The survey carried out in 30 districts also shows that 95% of foreign tourists are willing to visit Uganda again, while 96% would recommend Uganda to others as a tourist destination. The research proposes that government invests in road infrastructure, hospitality, and provision of affordable packages for local to increase revenue from local tourism. The
is to cut the costs, especially for the Ugandans or for the local tourists. Don't charge them like you're charging them what they're charging foreigners. And the issue of charging or costing things in dollars, US dollars, when I'm in my country, Uganda, I pay in dollars. I think it's not advisable.
So this one tells us that those of us who are involved in tourism sector, we should really make sure we share information. Starting with the information centers in various districts and areas. Let's advertise on social media, on TVs, on radios, podcasts, on our website, on flyers, on these cars.
The researchers recommend that the tourism board embarks on promoting tourism to locals so as to boost domestic tourism and revenue collection.
169 officers of the Special Forces Command SFC have been decorated in a piping ceremony held yesterday, the 26th of May 2021 at the SFC headquarters in Entebbe. The decorated officers are part of the 1,236 Uganda People's Defence Forces officers that were recently promoted to various ranks by the President of Uganda and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Yoweri Museveni. The officers were promoted to the ranks of Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, Major and Captain. The piping ceremony was presided over by the Commander, SFC Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who also doubles as the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations. He advised the officers to their superiors. He also urged the officers to work for the welfare and the good health of the men in uniform. General Kainerugaba commended the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Yoweri Museveni, for his usual close attention to all matters pertaining to the military, UPDF inclusive, including the logistics and personnel. He thanked God for the blessing the officers for blessing the officers in their career and undertaking many different trainings and appointments. Brigadier Vincent Semfuka, who spoke on behalf of the newly promoted officers thanked General Muhoozi for bouncing back as the commander SFC. He urged officers to set good examples by demonstrating their potentials to their subordinates, saying that one's good behavior shall be reflected on their subordinates. Among the colonels decorated is Colonel Edith Nakalema, the head of Anti-Corruption State House, 10 colonels, 13 lieutenant colonels, 18 majors, 62 lieutenants, 61 second lieutenants, including 3 professionals. The recent promotions were based on exemplary service rendered to the country, passing specialists and professionals in the field of legal, medical, and engineering. The ceremony was attended, among others, by the Deputy Commander SFC, Brigadier Peter Kandia, the Director Personnel and Administration, Brigadier Felix Busizori, commanding officers, commandants, senior and junior officers, family members of the promoted officers.
From personnel, management,
And now into our international news. Top U.S. diplomat visited Oman after holding separate meetings with Egyptian, Palestinian and Israeli leaders. A truce between Israel and Hamas began on Friday at the hour set by Egyptian mediators, and U.S. President Joe Biden pledged to salve the devastation of the worst fighting in years with humanitarian aid for Palestinians in the Gaza Strip.
To begin construction work in Gaza, where hundreds of homes, Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip ravaged the Palestinian enclave.
Then ensured police will approach the second leg next week from a comfortable position. Action continues on Friday with Pro Line hosting Bull FC at the Philip Omondi Stadium, Lugogo.
St. Jobe Eric will be the one to deliver this one forward in this Stanbic Uganda Cup match. Long from St. Jobe, away there by Kalule. Faisal Ibrahim doing very well. And the chess is on. Sebufu Frank on the run through. There's an opening here. Sebufu becoming a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
And looks the flag, I think I would have gone up for the offside, but
again, because he had tried to persist with the ball, there was a teammate on the right who was free and already committed, and standing in the right position to shoot. But Police FC have a problem now in defending. That is why you see a simple meeting between Ikara and 3 teammates. You can tell Eric Senjobe from a distance, they're trying to get better composition.
Well, with that, we come to the end of this edition of UBC News Tonight, but do join us at 10 o'clock for another edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazumoto and Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. We'll see you later, but we leave you with our weather focus for tomorrow with Kutesa Mili.
Reduction in the amount of rainfall received lately, though other areas are still having slight rainfall like Entebbe and Jinja. This is due to the ridging that is over the tip of South Africa that has pushed the rain belt far north of our country, hence the rainfall received in that western and north part of our country. But the rest of the area is receiving rainfall due to the local effects. Tomorrow morning, though, we expect to wake up with thunder showers along the Lake Victoria, including our capital city, Kampala. Most of other areas I expect to have sunny intervals. Afternoon hours, though, we expect to continue with sunny conditions. Most parts of our country, some other areas like around the western, expected to have light showers. Temperatures expected to rise up to 29 degrees in Kalamoja region, 31 northern part of our country, 29 and 28 along the lake shores. Kabale Highlands with the lowest of 25, though Mubende is going to go slightly high at 30 degrees Celsius. We is expected to move around the group. We are forecasting light showers, that is Mombasa and Mumbai, with a highs of 31 degrees Celsius across Mombasa. The rest of the places are expected to have sunny intervals. Kutesa Mili with today's weather update. Thank you for being with us. See you tomorrow.